How many times I'm going to showcase Dustin Poirier on this channel, I don't know, but he's one of my favorite fighters, and I was very happy to see him get the W this weekend against Michael Chandler. Very game Michael Chandler. Very, okay, slip hook. Tough, first round in the beginning for Poirier. Poirier was finding his timing, and it's a beautiful check hook counter. Drops Michael Chandler to solidify the round for himself. Chandler's getting a little bit more uncomfortable on the feet. This guy tries to fire back, gets sat down. Drop him again. This guy's not paying attention to his head off at all, and he keeps trying to force some exchanges to land some damage back, and he's going to keep trying to go for the slip hook, and I'm going to keep either playing the slip hook, not the check hook counter, excuse me, or the block counter if I can get that. But I'm going to try to draw this out because I really want to talk about a lot of things that Poirier did right in that fight. Of course, we're going to address the foul, the fish hook foul, that for some reason people are mad at Dustin Poirier for being mad at being fouled. And that's not like any regular foul. That's a intentional, you put your fingers in the dude's mouth and wrench it up. And that's pretty disgusting. I'll be pretty pissed about that too. It's one thing for like the other little things that can happen accidentally, but that's just really, really grimy. But to Poirier's credit, fought through that, got to a position that he's been submitted in before. That guy took some hellacious ground and pound when to go for the submission. And he just, the toughness, that was just a lot of toughness, a lot of grip, knowing where he was. Chandler did land some shots to the back of the head. And very good reffing in terms of not, stopping the fight. Okay, there's been some refs where they'll stop the fight if they see that and they're not really paying attention to what's actually going on. And Poirier, being the veteran that he is, was able to survive that. And a lot had been talked about. I think it was an interview with Makhachev talking about, like, kind of saying that the black belts in America are a joke, etc., etc. And of course, easy to say when you're from a village that lives, breathes grappling. You guys are like not just wrestlers, not just jiu-jitsu guys. You guys are straight up grapplers, and your application for grappling translates extremely well into MMA. And we see that by the numbers. But there's a common thing. If you guys have any of you guys that follow me on my channel that do jiu-jitsu, you guys should know that there's like the wrestler, right, where if he sticks to anti-jiu-jitsu style jiu-jitsu, right, where he's implementing wrestling, he's getting a lot of the wrist rides, he's not allowing your foot to get between his legs, because wrestling, while that's ideal, in jiu-jitsu is not ideal because they can roll for knee bars, they can roll for heel hooks, etc., etc. And especially from like the turtle position and whatnot. Whereas in folk style, it's not ideal. Like the guy can try and pin you from there if you try to do any crazy rolls while he has you in backside. And where guys like Chandler, especially a guy like him that's a D1 All-American, and his style of wrestling in the D1s does translate pretty good from being a top player in jiu-jitsu. It works. We didn't get the submission. This sucks. We ran out of time. But one common mistake that tends to happen is that when the wrestler now tries to do jiu-jitsu with a jiu-jitsu guy, they find themselves in a little bit more trouble. And you can see kind of like the mistakes that Chandler makes there. He tries to almost try to power out of the position, except Poirier had already locked in the body triangle. So he tries to kind of stand up. He gets it. He plants his hands on the mat. And that's a wrestler habit. Instead of continuing to try to fight the top hand, while Poirier is on his back in that position, he plants, because in folk style, you line up in referee's position. And that kind of helps you to push back onto your base. But dude, you have somebody on your back. Like, the real problem that you got to deal with is this guy sidestepping now. Okay. No, my lord. No. We're not gonna sell this. We're not gonna sell this. Hold on. Let me get back to the analysis. All right, you see this guy sidestepping now? This is what's called fishing. And what I mean by fishing, okay, sidestep counter. He's now looking for every single potential hard counter that he can land on me. And I'm just going to sidestep his stuff back. Because he doesn't have... He's gonna like basically going like 90% defense, and it's all going to try to set up some type of counter offense big strike. But I don't really have to worry about that because he has no chance in hell to win this fight. We're just drawing him out so I can, have a nice civilized discussion with y'all about what I thought about this weekend. And of course, we're going to... Of course, we're going to talk about Alex Pereira and Adesanya. Pereira should be getting champ status sometime later this week. So I'll do a showcase on that. I had some stuff lined up, but he beat Adesanya, much to my chagrin. And kind of and how I expected it with how he kind of set it up, but just not how I wanted it, because I decided this fight's so fucking good. But anywho, yeah, so if you go back and you watch Chandler, like he bases out to like that referee's position for like a split second, and Poirier's able to lock in a choke and becomes the first man to submit Michael Chandler. In that type of position there, you're better off trying to kind of drop down, like turning back into him. Even if you give up mount or something, at least a better position where you can get your, I don't know, shrimp, and then maybe get into a half guard position and try to wrestle up, get to an underhook. You know what I'm talking about. Like guys that do jiu-jitsu and whatnot, you know what I'm talking about. You roll, you give up mount, you try to control the hands, you push on the thigh, try to recover half guard, try to get to underhook, and then try to work from there. Instead, Chandler, also, fatigue definitely plays a big part of that too. When you're fatigued, you go to the things that you do when you're tired. You go to the things that you're trained to do, and to work to Poirier's benefit. Again, he keeps trying to clinch for some reason. And it was a good win for Dustin Poirier. Still showing that, his jiu-jitsu is pretty legit. How he fares against somebody like Makhachev, I think we kind of know the answer. It's, can he knock out Islam Makhachev? Yeah, for sure. But he has to keep his back off the fence. He needs to throw a lot of anti-wrestling strikes. But he also has to be dangerous in the clinch. And while he had some success against Oliveira himself in the clinch, Makhachev absolutely smothered like Oliveira in the clinch. He was controlling getting bicep control, tricep control, wrist control, and Oliveira couldn't get to his offense in the clinch the way that he usually does, the way he was firing off those knees against Dustin Poirier, framing off the head, etc., etc. Even to the point, Makhachev baited Oliveira to throw the knee and then used that to set up a hip toss. So work cut out for him. Is there a title shot in Dustin Poirier's future? I don't know. He's had 2 shots. Maybe he might need one more, but the man proved himself. Maybe he does a rematch with Justin Gaethje and beats Gaethje one more time, and maybe that'll be it. And then, of course, Beneil Dariush is there, so Dariush should honestly get the shot against the winner of Volkanovski and Makhachev. Or then maybe you can book Beneil Dariush versus Dustin Poirier in between that time, but then that wouldn't be fair to Benny. Oh, you denied the takedown. You're getting fucked up on the feet, and you denied the takedown. Okay. Alright, so I'm gonna show you some other things. When you get a guy, he's moving, he's sidestepping, you have other tools in your arsenal. Poirier has a level 4 calf kick. Pretty sure a level 5 lead calf kick. One of those two. I haven't looked in a while. You can just chip away at the leg when your opponent is slipping. It's extra vulnerability. For those who don't know, but they're extra stagger too. Helps lower the power. Of course, doesn't fully absolve you from vulnerability. You get a leg health event. There's the overhand tags me on the hit some vulnerability there. This Connor's gassed. We sat him down, chat. He was done. That went on way longer than it needed to, but I really wanted to just get my thoughts across about this weekend's fight between these two. That was a really solid fight. Just a really incredible fight. And part of me, when you're a fan of a fighter, you're like, damn it, I wish this was 5 rounds. You see the way the second round's going, you're like, no, I wish it was 5, because Chandler's going to slow down. And Poirier's somebody, like, when you're a professional fighter, everybody gets to some degree, like, tired and whatnot. It's how you're able to fight when you're fatigued. Poirier's probably one of the best guys that can fight at a high level while he's still, like, fatigued, striking-wise, and for MMA. And even grappling-wise, like, in transition for a lot of stuff, he does pretty freaking well. So I was very, very happy to see Dustin Poirier get the W. We're in championship, so we're going to try to rack up, like, 2 more fights. Yeah, so, of course, at Dustin. It's only a matter of time. I was kind of hoping for this guy, Chandler. He was kind of hovering between Chandler, Poirier, but whatever. I dislike mirror matches, but the time is limited. The good thing about ranked is when you're in featherweight and lightweight, a lot of fighters do have like the dual option, like guys like Volkanovski, Poirier, Holloway, McGregor, that can be used in both weight classes. There's a slipper counter. And it makes it easier to do showcases for guys like them. Even like Charles Oliveira, like I did some fights in oh my god, too easy. In a featherweight because I couldn't get a fucking fight in lightweight, but the elbow. Okay. This is one of those Dustins that's scared to be first. Okay. Okay. That's a straight and then 3 hooks right after. See, he's retreating so much. Now, I try to tell people this. For competition, there's a different way that people have to play when you're trying to secure rounds. But for showcases, I'm trying to, I'm trying to get in there and land some of this Louisiana hot sauce on my goddamn opponent because this is fraudulent. This is a fraudulent Poirier. This is not hot sauce worthy. This is not Louisiana style Dustin Poirier, the man that made even Michael Chandler convert. It ain't it. It ain't it. So we gotta show him what's up because all this running around, man. It's not the way. It's not the way of the Poirier Louisiana style hot sauce that you can find. You can get it in a single bottle. It's the UFC fan favorite Dustin Poirier's hot sauce, and he delivers the heat in the octagon. Both on your plate, and when I sat down and knocked this motherfucker out. Cause this time the plate is the octagon and you're out of there. Oh my gosh. I think I got a little bit too into it. Yo, the hot sauce is fire. Like, this is not an ad or a promo for like Dustin Poirier's hot sauce. This shit is legit. I bought it after he had beaten Connor in the first in the rematch. And I'm like, yo, I don't usually like hot stuff, but the shit was pretty legit. I think it was like the aged cayenne that makes it really good. It makes it really, really fucking good. And there's like even like a sweeter variation of it. Like I'm telling y'all, like that shit is good. I haven't tried like the KO edition hot sauce yet, but I want to try the Creole maple. The Creole maple. I'm definitely looking to try that. I think I might order like the hot sauce trio, cause he held it down. He held it down. So yeah, this was not an ad for Dustin Poirier's Louisiana style hot sauce. It just felt fitting considering this guy was playing like a fraudulent Poirier just running around for me. It's gonna be the last one. We ain't got much time. It took us to featherweight, and we'll fight against Mr. 5-star Volkanovski. But I got a question for y'all. When y'all see this, right? Let's see what type of no touch. Okay. I want y'all pretend that the third fight between Volkanovski didn't happen, like between Max and Volkanovski didn't happen, whatever. And Volk is up 2-0. And let's say in some crazy universe that Dustin Poirier did lock up the guillotine against Khabib, gives him his first L or whatever. Or maybe not that. Maybe he knocked out Charles Oliveira and he's a champion. Would y'all not want to see a fight between Dustin Poirier and Alexander Volkanovski? I mean, even considering the third fight against Max Holloway. Considering how goddamn good the fight between Max Holloway and Dustin was in lightweight, which I believe Dustin won 49-46, 2 judges scorecards, 48-47 on the other. I kind of want to see. I would not be opposed to seeing that bout. And if Volkanovski, if he's not victorious at lightweight, he goes down, he defends, and tries to make another run or something like that. And Dustin is like, you can't, maybe Dustin needs one more fight for like the title and whatnot. And they say, you gotta fight somebody, but he's already fought everybody else. Maybe Volkanovski be that guy. I'm just chatting shit because something. This is a matchup that would be incredible. And now this guy's laying loose. Ooh, nice. So when you're pulling, fuck, I'm tired. Okay, I guess you didn't know Poirier had that. So when you're pulling and against an opponent that's trying to take you down, you're giving up grapple advantage. Oh my gosh, I could have pivot lunged there. To the body. I don't care if you're 5-star Volkanovski. 4-star Poirier is enough to give you the hands. Like 4-star Poirier, I remember when I first used the first time I ever used Dustin as the 4-star in featherweight. He was in damn Damn, and he's by the cage, so he gets grapple advantage there and makes it harder to deny that takedown too. Good for you, good for you. Oh my god. When I'm talking, I give up transitions. I gotta stop doing that. So, anywho, not that. Get the fuck up. Anywho, first time I used Dustin in like any ranked comp, I think it was against Rayhan, and he was already using like the busted slip hook how it was. But the Dustin Poirier in featherweight was not remotely good as to the one that is now. And you could really feel it with how bad. One, Volkanovski was already super busted. And then on top of like trying to deal with the forward slip hook and the way the damage was early in the game was not ideal. But this one can definitely contend in the pocket. Ho ho ho! And can punish well too. That cross is at such a high level that you can do a lot of distance, like with punishes. And what I mean by the round ending, with punishes is where, you know, a lot of guys, they can be timed. Not every single counter needs to be a big whiff counter or some type of slip counter. You can land counters if you can intercept your opponent or just attack them when they're out of range punching. Because a lot of guys, the way that they play is they're playing, I just input this combo right here, and I'm going to see what works. I see what combos these higher level players use, and I'm going to see what works. And when you can read your opponent based on these set sequences, it makes it easier to get cleaner knockouts. Like right there, bro, he used the jab as an entry point, and he got blitzed. He's taking a lot of damage. Okay, right there, he's just planting. I'm not even there, bro. Like, who are you punching at? Ho ho. He's gonna back up and he's gonna enter again. He's gonna back up. He's gonna throw some punches. I want to plant the shit out of a cross. See, he's just waiting. It's just easy to be timed. Like clockwork, like clockwork. I've done that so many times in competition. I did it at Vegas. I did it at ESFL. I did it when I first won the belt against GOAT. I think it was against the TJ versus Jan Machik. Yeah, like I got like a nice crazy 7-piece combo on him with that. But intercepting combos, especially with guys who have good crosses, that's the way. But speaking of good crosses, that's going to be it for Dustin Poirier. I think we can leave it at that. I think 3 fights is good enough. I've showcased him plenty of times on my channel. Y'all know how I feel about the dude, and I'm very happy that he was able to get the victory over in Madison Square Garden against Michael Chandler. Remember 17, I appreciate all you. I'm out of here.